Hello, beloved. It's Monica Bermudez. Happy New Year! As this episode is going to be released on the first week of 2024. Yay! Whole new energy, whole new frequencies for us, and a whole new beginning and a new chapter in our life. So, this is a continuation from those Mercury reflections that we had from the previous episode. As you know, we concluded 2023 and reflected on a lot of things in our life, some journaling tips, and also just the Mercury retrograde finishes on January 1st is when it ends. So that means that is direct by the time this is released. And direct in the sense that now that we've reflected so much of our concluding year and ending chapter in our life of of our journey here as humans, that we're able to start a whole new chapter with a whole new frequencies and energies. So 2024, which it stands for, actually, if you add up the numbers, right, it equals to eight. Eight is an expansive number. It can be broken out into two fours, and four is about stability. It's about foundation. It's about rebuilding ourselves. But at the same time, it also feels like this year with these new frequencies are a bit more of asking for more of this lightheartedness and almost like this childlike type energy. And so just to kind of like feel into this collective energy, which is what this episode is about, feeling into the energies of this new year, this whole new cycle, and how this, will be for us collectively, is that it feels like there is this calling more of us going within more of our own inner child and our own inner joy and our own hearted, manner. So being more lighthearted, I guess what I'm trying to say. Um, because of all the chaos that's been occurring, doesn't mean that it's going to stop. Actually, I think 2024, what it feels like to me is that there will be a lot more of an increase of like certain events, let's just say, because it wants to reawaken a lot more people, reawaken a lot more of the star seeds out there who are star seeds but are not fully aware yet that they are. And so a lot of these events that occur around the world, like for example, COVID was a big reawakening event. So I don't think it's going to be like COVID, but I do feel that it will be something to do with like either power outages or solar flare because I've noticed that there's been a lot of increase lately with the solar flares and the Schumann resonance being at really high levels and rare. And also seeing a lot of planetary changes on the Earth with the weather being all over the place. And I mean, you could see it for yourself in certain areas, right? Certain areas that used to either have a lot of snow or, certain temperatures that have shifted to like the complete opposite of like what they are or shifted into other seasons. And some areas who used to be like 4 seasons are now 2 seasons. So there is a lot of stuff going on with our climate, the weather, with the people. And so as these things are shuffling around, it's also causing a stir, let's just say, of us to really become more aware. And in that awareness, right, there is this the level of awakening. Awakening is when we start to question a lot of the things that we used to do on a routine basis and habitual way, and that we used to just blindly listen to certain information without any questioning. And so I feel like, for instance, like in religion, that is one way. And, I have no issue with anybody who wants to practice whatever they want to practice, their own religion, their own way of their organization. The only thing I, say is to always keep an awareness and question things, like the information that you get. What is it that resonates with you in that moment, and what is it that doesn't resonate with you? And why it doesn't resonate with you, that is something for you and your higher guidance. So what I'm saying is to be more in tune to your own higher guidance and to your own source connection. And that source connection that comes within your own heart. And so just being aware and open to that level of questioning, because that is the awakening. And that is the part of us that our soul is calling us to be more in tune with our own inner self. And that is the great soul within that is connected to source. And it all starts within the heart because the heart is a big gateway to the soul. And so the heart is always emphasized in a lot of cultures and especially in ancient civilizations. So I feel like with stepping in 2024, that we're setting the foundation for this golden age. There is a lot of planetary astrological movements as well that are rare, right? And so these planets are rare because we are reshaping ourselves to be more in alignment and building a stable foundation that is more of the golden age and making it much stronger and more permanent. And in this golden age is bringing up a new Lemuria, a new Atlantis, a new Avalon, and a whole new of the other golden ages of cities, like a new Jerusalem. But in a new Tibet. So I'm talking about like a lot of ancient civilizations, a lot of sacred sites, and all of that is being renewed. And it could be a whole new Egypt as well because of the energy in the sacred sites of Egypt and ancient Egypt, with the pyramids and all that, and its alignment to the stars. So basically a whole new earth. And there's this whole renewal of these ancient civilizations that are starting to build this foundation, and they're all intertwined. So, what used to be these ancient civilizations of just like, you had Lemuria and you had Atlantis, this is all being renewed, but in a much stronger foundation where we're more in this stronger collaboration and this stronger community. Now, this may not be the case right now, right? If you're living in certain areas that are still very chaotic and all over the place, it may not feel that way. Of course not. However, just knowing that this chaos or this disruption is not going to last forever. Because as I always say, as I shared in my previous episode, that things always work out and things always have a solution and things will always be okay, always be fine because we are children of God, children of the divine source that is within us. And we are always under that protection of the universal protection within us in our soul. So, a lot of our human experience in our physical world and the pain and suffering is temporary. And so, what we're being called for in 2024 is to be more in alignment with our soul and building stronger foundations around that. And in that, through that is through awareness and questioning, which is part of the awakening, and diving in deeper into our soul and expanding on that And as you do that within yourself, that is also adding to the collective into the quantum field and is shifting us in a collective way because we have individual timelines within ourselves, but we also have collective timelines. And so, as we are shifting our own inner timelines, we're also helping the collective timeline to be shifting. And so, my emphasis is to shift it and focus on the energy of joy, of love, because this will bring about a much accelerated way of our golden age and bringing in an end and a peace and realigning ourselves to accelerate out of a lot of these chaos that we may find ourselves in. And some of this chaos may be in certain smaller communities and family dynamics, and then at the collective global level in some areas. What's important is how you're able to take care of yourself in this way and do the inner work yourself, starting with yourself. We can't change others, right? But we can influence them through the energies and how we are able to work on ourselves in our own inner way. Because right now, the quantum field, the quantum entanglement, it is much stronger, it's much more connected because of these higher frequencies of energy. So as we're all stepping more into this unity consciousness collective, into this Christ consciousness more so energy, because 8 is also related to Christ consciousness type energy. And if you look at it, that number, if you turn it sideways, it looks like an infinity sign. So that is why it is so expansive, um, and so activating in that way. And so it's important though to do your part, so that others may also benefit as you work on yourself and continue to rebalance and keep yourself in alignment with your own soul and your own heart, and as well as doing the best that you can, right? And not knowing when to take breaks and take breaths when you're feeling burnt out or it's too much going on around you at this time. So these are, pretty much some highlights with 2024 that I'm feeling from the collective. And so the important message is that maintain that awareness, maintain that questioning of, certain things in your life, and also asking yourself too certain questions like why it is that you've been in certain patterns or working through certain like situations and why you're still in those situations. And this is asking your own higher guidance as well. But also asking, like information you may hear, and this may be in the news media as well. Don't believe everything you hear in the news. Or even if you're like listening to gossip, right, from someone else, question that. And don't look at it from just one-sided because there's always a two-sided part of a story. There isn't just one side of a coin. There is two sides of a coin. So just be able to, as you're questioning, that it's also shifting your perception and looking at all these different angles in your life. And that also will accelerate a lot of your own deepening of your soul and getting to know yourself more. So asking yourself questions as well about how you are wired and how you are the way you are. And these are very deep soul questions to ask of your soul guidance because your soul knows you the best. And so that is why it's so important to always be in tune within your own heart, continuing to do those meditations and just overall, just being in connection with your own soul and your own heart. And in that also is a connection with your guides and a connection, most of all, to your own source connection, because you have the ability to go directly to source and talk to God directly. So that's pretty much it, what I want to say for 2024. I'm sure that more will come throughout some of the other episodes to share more. And I'm wishing you all the best for 2024, that it be filled with so much love and so much joy. And I'll connect with you in another episode. Sending you love.